Comrades Power.
Power.
Comrades Ria.
Ria.
Comrades Ziggy Zaga.
Ziggy Zaga.
To the administration, we as the Gen Z movement have the following demands. With the above in mind, we hereby make these following demands. 1, that the office of the president immediately issues a status report to Kenyans on the state of investigations of the 60 killings of our comrades in the recent protests. 2, that the office of the president immediately confirms and shares with the public the official number, names, and details of comrades killed in the recent protests. 3, that the office of the president immediately directs all relevant institutions, including but not limited to IPOA, IAU, DCI, and ODPP, to collect evidence in the next 7 days of police excesses shared by Kenyans, particularly the Gen Zs on social medias. Comrade Power.
Power.
That the office of the president immediately calls for the suspension of all officers highlighted in the social media using excessive force pending finalization of investigations. Comrades Power.
Power.
That once investigations are complete, the office of the president immediately causes the arrest and charging in court of all rogue police officers for the murder and assault of protesters and journalists. Comrades Power.
Power.
6, that the office of the president further calls for the resignation of officers in command, including OCSs of areas where killings were reported. Comrades Power.
Power. Resign.
Last but not least, our 7th demand is that the office of the president immediately issues stern warnings against any officer who will be found using excessive force in dealing with peaceful protesters. Comrades Power.
Power.
Comrades Ria.
Ria.
Comrades Akchu.
Akchu.
Thank you.
Absolutely rejecting that cabinet that has been proposed.
Yes.
And we are telling the members of parliament,
Reject.
those names will come to you.
Yes.
The way the finance bill came to you. You must reject. Reject the cabinet, all of them. Tumekataa. And we are saying in one voice that sisi wa Kenya tumekataa serikali ya nusu mkate. We don't accept it, and we are going to mobilize the people to come out clearly and openly to reject that cabinet.
On this memorandum, we have names of the 60 people that have been killed. There's many others in this country that are missing. We don't know their whereabouts. We don't know whether they're dead or alive, and that's very concerning. I think of the demands that have been made, it is not ridiculous, it is not too much to ask, because as we've read, it is clear that the president supports. It is clear that the officers the state officers are okay with everything that's happening, and they are encouraging it. If there was any deterrent, we would not be seeing this much force. We should be seeing protection of protesters and protection of property as protesters march peaceably. The Gen Zs have been very clear, and they have even protected property of people across the country where we have seen that goons have been posted. So it is not too much to ask that let protesters, it is very clear what the demands are. These dialogues that are being called for, it's a question of action, and that's what needs to be done. That's what needs to be seen to be done. So let it be done, and let the people that are being held, including my husband, be released. Boniface Akech in Kisumu was also arrested, taken around Kisumu, and now he's lying in a hospital bed. We are very concerned about those who are also in Kenyatta Hospital, recovering from bullet wounds and others from blunt force trauma. We demand that these police officers who have caused this trouble, they should be arrested, and that the force that we've seen them using across the country, they should be held liable for it. Every cop, we are fighting for you. We are fighting for this country, and if we relent now, we're going to lose this country to these thugs that we've seen in power. So we have to stand together and fight for this country, because we are the only ones who can liberate this country, and the time is not tomorrow, the time is today, and the time is now. It has never been more urgent than it is, and if we don't save our country now, then they're going to take this country down, 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 and we will have no country left. So release those who've been arrested, and not tomorrow, today. And if it is tomorrow, first thing in the morning. But we need them released with no charges whatsoever. Because what needs to be happening is, what has been read here is what needs to be happening. Yeah.
Not tomorrow, ni leo.
Leo, sasa hivi, immediately at the end of this presser.
Unconditionally.
Unconditional.
Huyu ni mama wa Evans Kiratu, amongst the first to be killed when the first protest began.
Majina yangu ni Hana Wanjira. Mimi ndiye mama Evans Kiratu mwenye aligongwa na tear gas canister the first day of the financial bill protest. Sasa ile tulikuwa tumeamkia leo asubuhi ni kukuja kupeana the memorandum, na from there tulikuwa tuwekelee maua kwenye watoto waliuawa na all that glow. But it was very unfortunate, maaskari walitutokea wakiwa na tear gas, wakatulusia tear gas, na right now venye ninaongea my sister ako ndani, hata ukiangalia kitu ina thread, ameshikwa akiwa kwa gari holding the portrait of Evans Kirato, na kuna askari alikuwa amejaribu kumnyonga, na pia bwanake wameshikwa na bwanake, na pia yeye anaumia akiwa huko cell, bado hajapelekwa hospitali, hawajashughulikiwa. So what we are demanding ni waachiliwe immediately with no condition, hivyo ndio wapate haki yao, kwa sababu venye tulikuwa tunaenda kwa barabara tukiprotest, hakuna kitu harmful tulikuwa tumebeba. Ni hiyo picha ya Evans Kirato, handkerchief, maji na simu na bendera ya Kenya. That's all I can say.
Thank you. If there are any questions?
Mi yangu ni risasi yenye imetupwa leo na ilikuwa imepointiwa to protesters. Na mimi naambia vijana mtaani msitumike, kwa sababu tumeona wasee wenye wanabai vijana wanakuja huku chini, mnakuja mnaiba na tuna fight for you. Polisi mnatupiga risasi. Hii risasi ni ya leo. Unaona, watu wengi hapa hivi wamekuja, hatuna kitu chochote. Tuko na nini guys?
Bendera.
Tuko na bendera na tunakimbizwa. Makarau mnatuogopa ama ni nini? Unaona, hizo ndo vitu ambazo mnafahamu tuambie. Another thing, these rogue officers, are they from Uganda, Tanzania? That's why you don't want to show them ama what's happening? Because kumekuwa na a lot of speculations. Soldiers were brought from Uganda and they came to Kenya. So tunataka kujua, aren't you arresting these people because ni Ugandans ama what are you guys hiding? Because over 60 people are dead and these are only the people who've been mentioned wako kwa social media. What about wale vijana wenye hawajulikani wako wapi? Sahi Kware imefungwa mpaka sahi, we don't even know what's happening over there. We don't know what the police you're doing. Sawa. You told us to write memo to you. Mumeandikiwa tunakuja. Mmeandikiwa sehemu ambazo tutapitia, mmeambiwa time yenye tutakuja, lakini instead of you guys coming to provide security, mnakuja hapa kutushika. Mara mnaangalia sijui nani amefund. Hii ni t-shirt. Mimi naweza chukua hii t-shirt niende nikaprintiwe na mtu yeyote. We don't need any funding. We only need Kenyans to come out and show themselves. Wale ambao mmekaa huko mmefanya coalition, just know we have over 8 million Kenyans ambao hawakupiga kura. So you should be asking yourselves, why did these people not vote for you? Either Ruto or Raila. Why didn't we vote for you? Ask yourselves. It's not about nusu mkate sahi mmepata sasa mmetulia. Ask yourself, those 8 million Kenyans wako wapi? Na mavijana, tuchukue ID, mavijana, civic education, we need to understand MCA kazi yake ni gani, MP kazi yake ni gani. All these CSs tunafaa kujua kazi zao ni gani. That is what I can say for now. Mimi naitwa Yasa.
And one thing we just want to communicate very clearly, that we are rejecting, absolutely rejecting that cabinet that has been proposed.
Yes.
And we are telling the members of parliament,
Reject.
those names will come to you.
Yes.
The way the finance bill came to you. You must reject. Reject the cabinet, all of them. Tumekataa. And we are saying in one voice,
Yes.
that sisi wa Kenya tumekataa serikali ya nusu mkate. We don't accept it.
Yes.
And we are going to mobilize the people to come out clearly and openly to reject that cabinet.
Kwanza hiyo ofisi ya sijui
Yeah.
the first lady and the second lady imerudishwa. So mnatucheza, the
Sawa.
bill imepita ama imepunguzwa.
Any question from members to anyone? na press freedom must be guaranteed also.
Yeah.
No question? So we'll just sign one or two of these so that it's official. So let's just...
Comrades power! Power! Comrades power! Power! Comrades viva! Viva!
Sign amongst one copy. Oh, I start. Yeah, we are just signing one. Letter. Sign. Mrs.
Oh, tunasaidia kila mtu. Okay.
It's just sign. I can take pictures. Unconditional release of all our comrades across the country. Sir, nipatie hiyo signed one ndio ni anyone who needs this the signed copy can take pictures.
Thank you guys also. I just want to thank you because you guys give us voice and help us reach, connect across the country. So I really just want to appreciate your work.
Yeah, thanks guys. Na media freedom tuko na nyinyi bwana. Hata nyinyi musikimie.
Msitaka tunapiga pamoja hii maandamano.
Stop police brutality to everyone, protesters, journalists, kila mtu. Families, imagine, even families. Thank you. Na Nifa kwa hapa kwa amejificha.
Huyu hapa.
Kubali shetani.